My name is Shane Rennison, and today is Thursday, February 15th, 2024. I'm born and raised in a small town in the Catskills in upstate New York. I have two wonderful parents and an older brother and sister whose wisdom has proven vital over the years. I'm a late bloomer as a musician. I didn't pick up a guitar until about 2020. And apart from music, my family and we own a kettle corn business. I've been an active member of this since I was 6 years old. How does this impact how you see the world and create music? Well, honestly, having the family I do has given me the support and guidance to pursue my dreams. I have a really strong support system with them, and they've pushed me to better myself since I was born, really. This has allowed me just to live freely, unencumbered by any doubt or fear. Also, growing up with the business, it kind of gave me a unique perspective on how to best monetize my musical endeavors. Did my upbringing prompt a specific reference point within my work? That's hard to say. I believe we're all a product of our environment, but at the same time, I believe certain environments can stimulate creativity better than others. I may have had a great childhood, loving family, all that, but something in my development has allowed me to be very emotionally open. I don't necessarily know what that is, but I find myself being able to write about very deep subject matter that I may not have personally experienced in my life. I believe this is because my upbringing gave me a certain emotional stability, so that I was able to explore these foreign concepts and stray from that stability, knowing that I had something concrete in my life to fall back on. Who are my biggest influences? I have a ton of influences across many different professions. I'm a big sports guy, so I find myself emulating my character after a lot of sports heroes of mine. In music, my biggest influences are the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Harry Styles, Miley Cyrus, just to name a few. I really just respect and draw influence from anyone pursuing their deepest, truest intentions and desires. Anyone that is able to do what they love and support themselves in doing so is just someone I will always look up to and respect. What am I focusing on right now? We're currently working on building the release of our new album called Irrational. We finished the production back in August, and since we've been mostly working on music videos, cover art, etc. There's just so much time and energy that we're pouring into this release, and I'm just really looking forward to getting it all together and sharing it with the world. I feel really good about it. What is the biggest challenge of being a musician? Kind of cliche, but the financial aspect of being a musician is currently my biggest challenge. It's not that I don't make money, I do. It's just that I've reached a point as an independent artist where my ideas and my concepts are very big and come with big financial components. Unfortunately, I find myself having to sit back on a lot of my ideas simply because I just don't have the income to support them at this time. But it's all part of the process and the journey, and I'm truly grateful nonetheless. What advice would you give to your younger self? Honestly, I would just tell my younger self, figure out what you want to dedicate your life to as soon as you can. It took me a long time to decide that I wanted to be a musician, but it stemmed from a vision I had when I was younger of being a rock star. If I had only acted on that initial vision I had in my adolescence and begun the work then, I would have been way further along than I am now, particularly with my musicianship, because I did pick it up so late. Have you ever tried any unconventional mediums or techniques? I'm a self-taught musician, so basically everything in the first 3 years of my development has been unconventional. But at this point, I've begun to develop my own process, and it's not very unconventional, just true to myself, really. That being said, my thirst to develop my musicianship is very strong. In the past year, I've taken up drumming to better my overall timing as a musician, but my intention is to pick up a brass instrument, a woodwind, either a violin, mandolin, just to name a few. So who knows what my technique will be in the years to come, really. How do you prepare to make a track record in studio and then transfer that to a live performance? The studio versus live record is a very different process for me and the team. In the studio, it takes a long time to develop the track. It takes a lot of tweaking and playing with sounds until we find what vibes with the track as a whole, and then we lay it down one piece at a time. First bass, then guitar, whatever it is, until we have the full idea, the full track. For the live stuff, we basically just take the studio version and then try to interpret it using solely live instruments. And I like this because it allows both versions to be very distinct while also keeping a common thread between them. What's the best reaction somebody has had to your music? An older gentleman, somebody that I wouldn't necessarily expect to appreciate my music, once told me that my song Cold Winter and my other song Ghost were amazing. And it was the way he said it that I just felt he was so genuine in expressing just how impactful these songs had been for him. And it really struck me and reminded me that I just don't have control over my songs and how they impact the listener. And there's just no way I can imagine how they can affect each individual differently. It was just a really cool moment for me because it showed me that there's people out there appreciating the things that I might not be appreciating myself. Somebody also told me once that our Nice to Meet You EP was a masterpiece. That might be a stretch, but it was definitely a welcomed compliment. What do you hope people will take away from your music? Music is quite simply my way of expressing the unconditional love of the universe. So what I aim to do really is just to show people that we all have some medium to discover in which we can allow this unconditional love of the universe to flow through us. For me, it's music, but it can be anything for anyone. Some people feel as passionately about teaching that I do for music, and that can become their vehicle for bringing love into the world. I believe our spiritual work as human beings is to discover our so-called calling and use it to express love to the world. Thank you so much for your time and allowing us to share your world. Please let us know if you're any upcoming events in your social handles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow me on Facebook at Shane Rennison and on Instagram at Shane Rennison for updates on new releases, tour dates, merch, etc., etc., etc. Thank you guys. Take care and be well.